Right, so I'm joined here, Andy Brown, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Play Expo himself. He's very kindly agreed for a very brief 10 minutes
10
chat.
minutes.
He's a busy man, so we've managed to corner.
It's nice to sit down and have 15 minutes.
Cornered him. So as me and Andy spoke before on the phone, and he's, like I say, he's very kindly agreed to answer a few questions, which I put out to you guys on YouTube, and I have some responses, and not many. So first up, the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Fudge.
Fudge.
What's it all about?
We've not got fudge this year.
You haven't?
Do you know what the funny thing is? People are saying, where's the fudge? People like the fudge. Fudge is Marmite, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Fudge is Marmite,
It's rock next year.
Yeah, no. So we've not got fudge this year because we specifically throttled back on the food traders in response to what people had said.
So you're listening?
Yeah, we do listen.
There you go,
We do
you see,
listen.
he does listen.
I mean, the thing is, last year, we didn't consciously choose to get loads of fudge sellers. We put the shout out to all the traders, and I think this show, because I mean, you know yourself, we've had this conversation, a lot of the retailers, this is one of the first shows they went to, and it's quite a personal show to them, and because we've got the video game markets now, and lots of other shows you can retail at, they choose not to sell at the show, not for any reason other than they just want to have a weekend where they're not working. And so last year we had less people who'd wanted to sell or wanted to sell games, and you know, ultimately I don't want an empty trader hall, and no one does, because it doesn't look good on us, and as well the space that people wanted to occupy, so I put fudge in there. So that was it, really.
So at the end of the day, you're a business, you've got to cover.
Yeah,
you know, you don't want empty stalls, do you?
Yeah, but also I appreciate that people come here for a reason, and if you know, if they're saying that you want more games, then that's more games retailers. That's what we'll.
And you can only do your best, though.
And we have. I mean, I think there's a much better balance this year.
Definitely.
I think it's quite nice.
Yeah. Okay. So one question for me really is just in terms of your history. How did you get in? How? Because you've been doing this for a long time now.
So I've been.
So you've kind of evolved, but how did you get into it? What was it? Did you fall into an accident, or was it planned?
Into Console Passion.
Yeah, the whole
So Console Passion
type thing.
Oh, so Console Passion, which I also wrote, is about 17 years old, which makes me feel really old that I've been doing that for 17 years. And we started doing expos as an exhibitor nearly probably 10 years ago, the first really small one. So Chris Wilkins did the Retro Ball, and before that there was the Classic Computer Expo in London. That was maybe 10 years ago. And then Dave and Gordon, who did Replay, the first Replay.
The first replay, yeah.
They approached me.
Which was here, wasn't it?
Which was in here, yeah.
Yeah, which is why I think that's why Blackpool has a special place, especially for the older folk.
It was the first time I think that all the different communities had been pulled together, and it was a really nice coherent show. And then after the show, I said to Dave and Gordon, I said, look, I think there's a business here. I've got kit. I'd been hiring out to the BBC. I said, I think there's stuff we can do where we do corporate hires, other events and things. Don't make it a one-off. There's a demand for big organised events like this. Let's form a company. So the three of us formed a company, and we've built it up since then. Dave and Gordon have moved on to do other things now. Dave's doing stuff for the museums. Gordon's going on back to the bank. So I've stayed with this.
It's a bit of a banker then, is it?
Sorry?
It's a bit of a banker.
It's a bit of a banker. Yeah. It's good like good.
So for me, that's quite interesting because, like you sort of said, you sort of saw the opportunity, but you've kind of, and there's always been like the small events, like your Nerds and whatever. You've sort of took hold of it, and you've kind of grown and expanded. I mean, you look at Manchester now; it's massive now, isn't it? Compared to, you wouldn't think like
25,000 people.
Yeah, like 6 years ago, 8 years ago, unheard of.
No, there's no. And if you'd have said to me, even when we did this the first time, I was just wow.
Yeah.
I remember walking into that ballroom, or to the hall when it was empty, and the three of us just saying, we're never going to fill it.
Never fill it up.
It was terrifying.
Will anyone turn up? Build it and they will come.
It was, yeah. And the funny thing is, it was terrifying. And for the first few years, this show was terrifying because it was the biggest show we did.
Yeah.
Then when we started doing Manchester and other even bigger events, and now I love this because I live in Blackpool.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There you go.
People do actually live here, and so I can get out of bed 5 minutes before I need to be in here.
Yeah.
and it's a really nice, easy show for us because like we keep saying, it's that show that everybody loves in the retro gaming community. It's the one that kick-started it all. So we always know we're going to get good support, so I don't need to worry about numbers or anything like that. And it's just, the venue's nice to work with. It's not the greatest venue on earth, let's be honest. It could do with a bit of a spit and polish, but that's not
Blackpool, isn't it? Though?
That's it, Blackpool.
Yeah.
Cheap and cheerful.
So I was going to ask you about behind the scenes, but you kind of covered that a little bit. So just in terms of yourself, then, Andy, I mean, are you a collector? Do you play, or do you not have time?
I do. I'm not a collector. I was a collector initially. That's how I started Console Passion. Yeah. I would say most of the retro dealers, that's how they would have started. I don't think anybody wakes up one day and says, "I'm going to start retro games business."
Well, actually, I've got another question. It's not too far from that, actually.
So it was, the same as a lot of people like you do yourself and the other traders.
Yeah,
you sell off your spares, you buy a big collection, you sell off your duplicates, and I just, I did that, and I was working for HP for at the time, so I just kind of expanded it and grew into Console Passion and now people working for us.
Awesome. So I've got a question from CGM Retro, Chris. He says, why did the date change from the May Day bank holiday weekend to July? And actually, it's quite a pertinent one for me as well, because it's like, those who've been to Blackpool historically, they've always had like about 10,000 kids running around kicking footballs everywhere.
The reason I was looking around, and I don't mind saying this, is essentially the hotel gave our dates away, and they won't give us those dates because it is a prime spot. There's been a change of management, and they won't give us the dates that we want because at that time there are people that will buy hotel rooms. We don't fill the hotel rooms, well that's what they say. So me and the hotel are very much like that at the moment. So it was, I know some people have said that we left it too late, or we had some argument with the hotel. It's not, it's basically they said you can have these dates or not at all, which is frustrating for us because I don't like change, people don't like change, and it actually upset all our other events on our calendar.
Yeah, that's because you're too close together.
And not just our own events. I had to speak to the guys at Revival, the guys at NERG, and we all talk. We all share information and let each other know what's happening with the events because no one wants to clash events.
No, and no one's best interest, is it?
And I had to have a conversation with Craig and saying, look, I'm really sorry, I've been forced to do my event in July, which is when you've done your Revival. We swapped round dates basically, and it's worked for him. And thankfully, it's worked here. I really didn't know moving an event to a seaside town in the summer is on paper a bit insane because you'd think that people would just go to the pleasure beach, but I don't even see outside. It's not exactly the nicest day outside. So thankfully,
the weather, isn't it?
And but the thing is, we do have the support from the community, and they've moved with us. Thankfully, which I appreciate. But no, it was not a choice, and it was one I really didn't want to do, but it was like that or not on the event.
A sort of tongue-in-cheek question from Daz Jonas Loro. I would ask Andy, sort the bloody trade hall out, which I think we've covered that already. So that's and it speaks for itself, as Andy sort of said. There is only one sort of food vendor type thing. So that's a bit of tongue-in-cheek.
No, that's fine.
And then the last one I've got for you, which I referred to a minute ago, is Mike Houlihan. So he's quite an interesting question actually, because it doesn't really pertain to me, but I know there's a lot of people that travel quite vast distances. So he's from the southwest, and he's asked, and I'm not sure if you want to divulge this information, I don't know, but how much roughly does it cost to put on or start an event like this? Because he's looking to try and start some up himself. Going back to what you said, you just don't roll out of bed and do it. And off the back of that, he sort of to add, why isn't there, or have you not thought about putting something on down the southwest? I mean, I know there's the London one, isn't it? And that's never been really successful. I don't know.
What, the gaming market?
Yeah, the London market.
What, one of ours?
No, is it the London?
So we do the London gaming market, which is the same as the video game market, and that's heaving. Is
it picking up?
No, it's really.
Oh, is it?
I mean, obviously I exhibit as Console Passion, and I do better at London than I do in Doncaster.
Wow.
It's crazy. So it's London. So.
Yes, London. Yeah. So what about towards the southwest? We're going back to Mark's question. Anything like I'm thinking it's like Bristol kind of.
We've
I
can't obviously divulge all our plans.
No.
And I have spoken to the other organisers and they're aware, so there's not going to be any clash or anything, but we are.
So you've seen the gap. You obviously know.
No. I mean,
people
have been saying to us for a long time, why don't you do anything down the southeast, southwest?
Margate, didn't you?
Margate, yeah. Which again is a seaside town, and we had similar sort of thing in that we the only dates we could have for that were either in February, and that clashed with another event called Geek, which we've worked with for years and supported, or the summer, and we ran it for 2 years in the summer. But again, it's a seaside town. People don't want to be indoors really playing games in summer. And the other thing that's been prohibitive, maybe until now, is the sheer cost of the event down south.
Yes.
So
retroheads.
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking at venues around the country, and I can say in London it's 10-15 times the price that it is here, and that's for a small event. If we wanted to run, say, Manchester in one of the venues in London, it's £250,000 just for the venue. It's the price is
£250,000.
Yeah, if you want to go in the Excel, it's not cheap to run.
There you go.
In London.
From the man himself. That's all I've got. Many thanks again, Andy. Do appreciate your time. I know you're a very, very busy man.
No, it's all right.
So yeah, I'll let you get back to it.
Speak to you. Thank you very much.
Nice one. Thanks, guys.